coming up on today's episode.
I'm going to go out to the other goal now and show you that, and we'll see what that one looks like. Bryan Street's pretty flat as well, but it's not perfectly flat. See, there's a little bit of a rise here going to Oak Street. Not that bad. Like I said, the worst part of riding on Bryan Street is the traffic, because there's basically no bike path at all. They are discussing putting sidewalks and bike paths, widening a street quite a bit. This is one of the main, I won't say main thoroughfares, but this road has a lot of traffic on it. And as such, I think they need to have some bike paths and sidewalks. Of course, this is O'Brien Street's an older street, so you can see we've got a little bit of a sidewalk down here on the left, but nothing on the right at all. So still pretty flat. Getting out of Seymour, probably no strain at all on pedaling in that. A little rise over the railroad tracks as usual. These tracks are more straight on, so there's not really a big deal about riding over them so much, and they redid the crossing there. As you can see, that's pretty slick. So, and we've got the new roundabout down here. Of course, we've got a stop sign first, but again, flat, pretty much flat. And in Seymour itself, I don't anticipate. I think I could take my son's bike around to that, no problem at all. Just riding, with obviously his doesn't have battery and things, but I don't think that would be a problem at all. But again, on out to the when we get out of town here, we'll point that out. Again, flat. I hope that is recording, because it's going to be a waste of time if it's not. But anyway, like I said, there is a slight downhill here, and obviously coming back would be a slight uphill. But these in-town stuff, I don't consider them hills that much. Just slight grades one way or the other. So there is the sidewalk here. I guess you could use that if you had to, but I think I'd just soon stay on the street if possible, unless there is a dedicated bike path. And I think some of the roads out here do have dedicated bike paths. So again, pretty flat. We're still in town now, believe it or not. They changed this all around because the new apartments down here, which will go past, or have been incorporated into the town. They do that to provide them with water and things like that, I think, more than anything. But it also is additional revenue for the town. So, again, mostly flat. Now there's some little, I don't even call them hills, just little rises. But there is one coming out of the stop sign you have to go up. Again, I don't think it's a major hurdle. See something blowing across the... You can see it on the stop sign there. If you see that thing twirling, that's how much the wind's blowing. If you didn't think it was blowing, it is. Again, this is, of course, you got a nice bike path over there on this. But there is a hill there. And I consider that a hill. That's a little bit more than a rise. I'm not saying it would be a big problem, but it is a hill. You come over the top of it and go down. So, to me, that's a hill. But like I said, I don't consider that something challenging. I consider that something easy. The overpass, I think, was much more than that. But again, back to flat again. Of course, we're out of the... there's a nice sidewalk over there you could ride on if you needed to. These are the new apartments and houses both. I think the city limits now goes to this stop sign here. I believe that's the extent of the city limits now. So now if we get basically out of town, you'll notice the terrain changes quite a bit. The roadway changes. There's no stripes. We're past the Lutheran High School here. So obviously no bike paths. But still fairly flat. I mean, come on, rise here or there, And the thing with the rises is you go across or up over the rise, and then you get the benefit of coasting a little bit past the rise. So now you can see, if you look down there, that's a little bit of a hill. That's one I consider a hill. In my estimate, I can't even say it, estimation of the route. That is considered a hill. And it's going around a curve, which makes it even worse. But again, if I had to, I've got the battery. I can kick it in to help me around it. I don't think that's a big deal. And you get a little momentum going down that decline there. And we're, after you get up over the hill, you're sitting pretty good. I mean, there's some funky little rises here, but nothing substantial. And again, a rise, you get to go down the hill a little bit. So, not bad. So far, we haven't really gotten into anything that's what I consider to be insurmountable. Again, that's the other thing. If I get tired, I can stop. I don't have to ride this continuous. Another little bit of a hill rise, whatever you're going to call it here. I think once you go down this one, you build up some momentum to go halfway up the other part at least. So really not that much. This part of it is easier. So that's I don't consider that a hill. All these little S curves are fun. Now, if we get a little further out, obviously the terrain gets a little bit more rugged, I'm going to say. So you can see that truck going down a hill. Now, there's another example of you want to build up some momentum going down this hill and have a fairly substantial speed coming into the next little hill. Well, I say it's a little hill, but it's a pretty substantial little hill. that's another one I think you might have to use the battery a little bit, especially because it really continues. It's more of a slight incline here, but it's still going uphill. And you'll see the reason why is obviously the overpass over the interstate, because that's a hill going over it. Should be able to build up speed here on this little flat part here. And I don't consider that one where you really need the battery that much, but if you did, it's there, you know. So I don't think it's a big deal. That's my own feeling on that. You got a little downgrade here. You can coast a little ways. Take a little time to get there. This road has a surprising amount of traffic on it too. I noticed there's a truck in front of me, there's a car behind me. So if I go a little faster, that was fine, because people on this road don't generally go too slow. I think the speed limit is 40 out here, I believe. This is a slight grade, but again, very, very slight as far as the incline level. It's not going up hard hill. Until we get down to these little S-curves down here, then you'll see the next one I call a hill, and I think you'll understand why. But again, you know, you got a battery and a motor. You can watch the truck now. He's going up, not up a great deal, but there is on down there is more of a grade. This is a little bit of a hill here. Obviously it goes up here. There's a little bit of an incline here. Then it goes up a more gradual incline. And as you can see, that truck, he's not even got to the top there. He just went over the top. So this would be probably the worst hill I've got to climb. And you know, you're probably sitting back laughing, saying, well, that's not a hill. Well, you know, I'm in a car. I just pressed the gas. So, you know, it is a little bit of a hill. But after that, I think we're pretty much in the clear. Obviously, this is downhill. We're going to be turning down here. So, we go straight, obviously, but if it goes down, it's going to go back up. So, we want to stay at a level playing field here, so we're going to be turning. Again, straight, flat. Not bad, not bad. Again, you got to think, none of this is what I consider impossible. I mean, even on a regular bicycle, I think I could ride it. Especially after I get a little built up leg muscles going. I used to have really good leg muscles. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid. There's a little bit of a rise here, but you know, if you get the hill going down, you got to learn how to obviously use the road, the downhills and the uphills as far as getting what you want. A little bit of an incline here, nothing major, and like I said, it is just not that bad. So you know, if you stop and think about it. Now, as we get across the highway, which we're going to be doing here very shortly, and I say the highway, that's US 31. So we're going to turn right here at the next street. This happens to be the street my granddaughter lives on. And again, coming back, you have to kind of imagine, you know, if you're going down a hill, you're going to be coming up that hill going back. So perfectly flat though. I mean, you know, you see a little rise down there towards the end, but not that bad. I don't know. I never can figure out which road she lives, or which house she lives in, but it's one of these houses on the left here. I think it's towards the middle of the row of the houses. I think it might be the one with the columns in the front. I'm not real sure. I know she's got a little garage. Yeah, that's it, I think. Pretty sure. Anyway, she's at work, obviously. here's the highway down here. Obviously, we're going to be going downhill. Obviously, we have to come back up this hill. And my plan is to stay on this side of the road when I ride out, because the other side, I believe, is there's not much of a shoulder there, but I think there is a shoulder on this part. You can see there's pretty much a shoulder there. And we're going to let this guy pass because I don't want to get out there and just turn right again. But you can see there's quite a bit of a shoulder on the left there. Well, I know you can't see it, but I can see it. This is a busy highway. Obviously, you don't want to get out and get on this one too much. So we're going to take off now. There's a little bit of a shoulder on the right side, but not as much as there is on the left, I don't believe, because of the tank farm there. So, basically, we're going down to the next road and turn right. So, not that far. Oh, I just missed it. That was dumb. Okay, so you got a little bit of a rise going up here, not much. You'll be on going across the highway, so you'll be moving pretty good, trying to get across that highway. But again, this is probably more hilly over this side than it is on the other side, but not that bad, I don't think. So anyway, it is what it is, as they say. Now I plotted all these roads on Google Streets, or Google Maps, whatever you want to call it. And this is my best bet of the less hills that you can have going out here. There's more direct routes, obviously, but this is pretty much the best route to take on a bicycle, in my estimation. I may be way off base, I don't know. It is what it is. Obviously, pretty much flat. I mean, you can get up some speed on this pretty good if you wanted to. Now, I may get lost down here, but I think it's a stop sign we're going to. Obviously, you want to have some speed going down this one so you can coast up the other one. That's the idea. And I think this is the one we want to turn on. I'm pretty sure. No bike paths out here, obviously, but again, not a lot of traffic out this way. Especially when you take these side roads like this, I don't think there's that much traffic. Fairly flat, not perfectly flat, but again, nothing insurmountable. My opinion, anyway. Now, if we get turned onto the next road, there is a slight hill, probably more significant than anything I'll accomplish on here, but we are going to go downhill a little bit on this road. Anytime you gotta remember, anytime you're going down, you're gonna have to go back up. So that's always a problem, but not an insurmountable problem. Again, the problem with this one is you end up turning at the bottom of the hill, so you don't have any momentum build up on the other when you turn to go up the other hill. So again, you can see these are pretty leisurely drives. Nothing bad. Highway, you can see the stop sign down there, but that's where we'll turn. Now you got a little bit of a hill. There's a little bit of an incline this way. Going this way, you build up some speed. Hopefully, get your gears up. I mean, you start off low and then go higher. Then once you get here, you can go back low if you need to. Not a terrible hill. Nothing out this way is terrible, but a hill nonetheless. And you got to remember, coming back, you're going to be coming up this way. So there's always that. I never really tried. I guess the hills are going to be the same either way you go. My way of thinking, anyway. Obviously, going to the house, their house, is going to be easier than going back, I think. At least this part of it. But you do have a downhill coming the other way. It gives you a little bit of a momentum to get up some speed going up the other way. So all that's not too bad. You're going to have plenty of speed to get up that hill. I don't think you're going to need to do any extra effort getting up that. And once you get up over this little rise, you're pretty much home free, because this road going out towards their house, which will be turning onto the left, is basically flat. So there you go. There's a good indication of and we'll take the same way back just to make sure it looks the same that way as it does the other way. Now, they did put a stop sign, double stop sign up here, which is nice. Again, flat. Perfect bike route, if there ever was one. So, like I said, it's just a matter of getting there and getting back. And I thought the day I did ride out here, I could just take my battery charger with me and hook it on charge while I'm out here. And I'll have a fresh battery going back in case it's needed. Like I said, there's probably a little bit more hills going back, I think, than there is coming out here. So, I don't know. It just depends. But, as far as this being, this part of the route being bad, it's not at all. So, this is their house down here on the left. I'm going to turn around the driveway and drive back. I don't even know if they're home. I don't think they are. And just like that, we're back home again. Alright, well, there you go. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. So, I'll put this together and put it up here and show you guys, and we'll go from there. So, let's turn this recorder off.